So the long and the short of it is, okay, in 1924, he died. Some sort of fascination with King Tut. He decided, glass case over the top. Everybody look at me. He's in here.
I know you gonna dig this. Get funky with me.
Hey, do you guys want to go see a dead body? Different part of the cemetery, same cemetery, I believe, Mount Olive Cemetery here in St. Louis, Missouri. But there's two entrances. So that big one I showed you at the beginning, that looks to be the main entrance, and there's a smaller entrance, and that's the one you're gonna want to come to if you want to come see this. What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome. I was about to say welcome to the channel. I've never said that. Like and subscribe. I've never said that either. Welcome to the channel. If you don't know the name of it, there it is there. Hit that like and subscribe. Wow. Here we are. St. Louis. The Windy City. What? That's Chicago. Okay. Well, it's pretty windy here in St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm here at a grave I've been wanting to come to for a very, very long time. Joseph Marconnott. Marconnott? You decide. Not sure exactly. I think it's Marconnot. Could be Marconnott. Oh, his Uncle Joe, as he's referred to now. Died in 1924. Wasn't famous. His grave is famous. He wasn't famous during his lifetime that I know of. Became famous in St. Louis and kind of worldwide after. Because he's buried in a coffin with a glass cover, and you can see him. That's how he wanted to be. That's what he wanted to be seen for the rest of his life. He's mummified. He's in there. Now, full disclosure, I cannot get in there, but we're gonna see something, and you're gonna be like, whoa, that is something. See, I told you. So this is the mausoleum of Joseph Marconnott. And just so you're not confused, there's about 14 different ways to identify it with the M's, and around back we're going to show you some other things. But Marconnott, this door right here, oh gosh, I'm afraid even, but it is locked, I'm sure. It is locked. It's stainless steel. Used to be glass. If we were to go beyond this, on the right are Joseph's parents. On the left is Joseph, Uncle Joe. And he's in a glass covered casket. And back, not too long ago, this was glass itself, like I said, and you could look through it and you could see him. You could look at him and say hello, whatever you wanted. But vandalism, that sort of thing, they had to finally put a steel door on it. But he's right on the other side of this. He's right here. Can we see through this? No? I was told that there would be some broken headstones around, and there are. Here he is. That would be Joseph Marconnott Sr., I believe, because 1860. I can't even read if that says born or died in 1860. Why is he mummified? Why did he want to be displayed like that? Well, I'm going to tell you in a moment. But I'm just enjoying looking at this. Enjoying? Well, yeah, kinda, because it's really interesting. All right, before I get into this story, I think probably whatever I call this video, and by my beginning, which I copied from this movie.
You guys want to go see a dead body?
That's right, Vern. Stand by me. I'm going to show you some pictures. And now these pictures are of a deceased human being. This is Uncle Joe I'm going to show you. This is what he looks like in his casket. Get ready for it. Normally I don't share things like this in my videos. I don't post. And even though I deal a lot in death and things like that on my channel, true crime, death, graves, I'm not one for... I don't usually show crime scene photos, especially graphic ones, only if they're necessary. I'm not big on... I don't like to watch videos of car accidents. Maybe people think something like that about me. I'm not into that sort of thing. And I don't like seeing... I definitely don't like seeing people after they're gone. I don't have that much of a morbid curiosity. Maybe a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, maybe. But this isn't too creepy because he wants these. He wants to be seen. So this is okay. Here's Uncle Joe. Now I'm walking around the cemetery right now while you're looking at the photos. I got a few of them. There he is. He looks pretty good. That's 101 years ago. Not bad, Uncle Joe. Not bad. Did I also mention, I know I'm having a little bit of fun with this, but I think he was a little bit of a fun guy. 2 mushrooms. I think he was fun. I think he'd be okay with this because he, like I said, he was kind of like a little out there. He still has a bank account. He's dead, but he still has an active bank account because Uncle Joe seemed to be not too... after he passed away, they found a lot of baseballs in his backyard or in baskets in his house. So the neighbor kids, whenever they lost a baseball on his side, he wouldn't throw it back. That sort of thing. I read that story about him. When he died, he had a lot of money. He didn't leave it to his family. He left it for himself so that he would be in perpetual care here. That somebody would always be looking after him and taking care of his body. Uncle Joe, he has a bank account. It's still going. So, it has been used. I think it was great-grandsons, great-nephews. They haven't used it in about 20 years because it's sealed up. But they still have the key. They can get in. His family, there's 2 keys to that mausoleum. They can still go in and see their Uncle Joe if they want to. But as I read, I think it's been about 20 years since they had to use the bank account. But he's still there. There's the glass cover, and then they put some other sort of cover on top of it. Oh, a woman drove her car into the side of it once, and his casket, his casket fell over and hit his parents' casket, and I think he may have even fallen out. You can't make the, well. Okay, so I mentioned that Uncle Joe still has a bank account, and it's filled with the funds that he left to transform his body and keep it maintained over many, many years. One of the stipulations of this maintenance was that his clothes had to be changed every now and again. He wanted his clothes changed afterward. So it was his great-great-nephew, I believe, I'm looking here, I'm just trying to get it right, great-great-great-nephew, and also his great-great-nephew, so father and son. And the father said, Joseph, and I quote, was a real son of a bitch. I'm not speaking ill of you, Uncle Joe, I'm just saying what people are saying. Apparently he was a loner, a bit of a recluse. And, like I said, didn't like the neighborhood kids. He owned part of the land. I think it's called Carondelet Park, which is somewhere here in St. Louis. that's how they got rich. They owned a park because they later sold it to the city. Now, why? When he died. So he's a bit of a recluse, bit of a loner, no kids, I don't think. I don't think there's any kids. Let me check something for a second. Hold on. I just wanted to check something out because I checked here on my phone because I thought I had read somewhere that it wasn't just him and his parents, or there was someone else buried in there, but I think it's just him and his parents. Also, I read that they were truck farmers. I don't know what that means. I don't know how you farm trucks. He was a truck farmer. Maybe they came from truck farming money as well. I wish I had the answer to that, what truck farming is. I'm sure somebody in the comments will write what that is, and I will read it, and then I will know. I kind of want to know what a truck... Have yourself a merry little... Okay, let's get back to Joseph, who is in here. Apparently, he was fascinated by the one and only King Tut. Now, his family wasn't sure if that's what led him to wanting to be mummified and put on display. If King Tut's discovery is that is what made him want this, they're not sure. But he had several newspaper clippings that they found in his house afterwards. And it was only 2 years before he died. So that was 1922 when they discovered King Tut. And so it looks like maybe that piqued his interest. He was like, hey, I want in on that. So his intentions were to be on display after his mummification. From 1924, when he died, to 1936, his intentions were fulfilled. But eventually, the door to the mausoleum here, the family mausoleum, was changed out and locked. So for about, 12 years, people were able to come in here. This would be a glass door, and you could look through it, look to your left, and you could look at them. Look at it. Would you look at it? You could actually just look at them. That was the purpose. He wanted people to look at him. So it says there's repairs visible from a car crash. I'd look at that. I think that might, I'm no stonemason. I don't even know what a stonemason is, but that looks like it could be from the car accident right there. But it said there's visible marks on here from the car accident. Yeah, I think that's probably it. I mean, there's this, but I don't know where that originally was. Wait, who is this even for? I can't even read that. I don't know if it's upside down or what. No, that's the bottom. I don't know. No. Le corps, oh, it's French. I think it's French. Le corps de ici repos. I have no clue. I can read a little bit of French, but I can't. It's really faded. Can't see that. Le corps du code. Okay, I am obviously not hooked on fonts right now. I actually can read French, but I don't understand I can't see this. I'm sorry. So it's a massive brown coffin right on the other side here. And it's on a pedestal. So there's a lid, and you remove the lid, and there he is. And apparently, I guess it was, how long ago was it that I read the article was? Oh, it was like 3 or 4 years ago that the article, read an article. So, apparently he still looked pretty good. You know, there's signs of deterioration, and of course, but they must have used, what's the stuff they used to, formaldehyde. A higher grade of formaldehyde in 1924, like per his instructions, to really, and I mean this with all due respect, but to really pump it into him and really preserve him. That's what they did. They use a lot. That's what they suspect. There's really no records indicating what they used, how they got him preserved like that. Insert pickle juice joke here. But yeah, this is it. This is what I've been wanting to come to for a while now. Is it underwhelming? Nope. It's exactly what I knew. I knew that I wouldn't be able to see inside, but it's very, very fascinating that this is here. He's inside here. Did you want to see him again? Here we go. There he is. So, if you're wondering how, maybe you're not, I'm going to tell you. if you're wondering how, like, who's responsible in terms of taking care of them because of the family members, you know, like, not everybody wants to, but it's always the firstborn son going down the line of the Marconnott family. And apparently, the latest one, who's looking at him, his son, who is the firstborn from him, is not interested. He's like, no, Dad. I'm paraphrasing. I'm just making up what he probably said. No, Dad, I'm good. I think he probably said. But yeah, they're still looking after him. Oh, I think his sister. I think maybe his sister is in here. They had his sister, Joseph's sister. I can't go in, so I can't, you know. But they're all in regular caskets. His parents and possibly his sister. Okay, this part I'm going to read to you. Bear with me. I just looked up something because I'm concerned, not concerned. I'm confused whether or not the sister's actually in here. Now, so the car accident into the mausoleum, okay? When it happened, the gentleman, Tim, who looks after Uncle Joe right now, Tim, present day Tim, looks after him. Realize that Uncle Joe, I'm reading this part because this is something I'm confused about. Maybe we can work on this together. Had a sister who died at a young age, and that his great-great-great-great-grandparents were not preserved correctly. Whoever put them in the marble, but okay, no, wait, I'm getting it. So, inside, okay, so the sister is, now I'm not reading, this is what I'm putting together. The sister is with the parents, but they weren't preserved correctly. Because, like I said, I think they had them moved after Joseph died, so they just kind of piled them all together. So, there's on this side, facing us, Joseph's on the other side, there was his sister and his parents, and they were all just buried together. Just, like, placed in one big box, and that was what got damaged. But Uncle Joe got exhumed. He was removed from the mausoleum, and he was patched up somewhere else. Now, the marble door cracked due to excavation work at the rock quarry, which apparently there's one around here. There's a rock quarry around here somewhere, and what is this saying? And apparently there's a bunch of broken tombstones because of the rock quarry, and there are a bunch of broken rock. Yeah, I see them. You see them? Here. There's a lot. There are a lot. I can see them all around me. I mean, they're right there. There you go. So the quarry is no longer in, this is getting nuts. The quarry is no longer in use, but when they did their blast, it would knock down all the old tombstones, and it broke the door. And then Tim's dad worked for a steel manufacturing company that made jail doors, so they put this door on. So I guess back when the 12 years that he was on display, I don't know what door was in place of that. I don't know. So this steel door is only recent. Now, two people have the keys. Tim and his father. When they've gone in, there's been leaves. They found leaves. When the door's shut, it's completely pitch black and it's sealed off. It's a new lock. We just saw it. Let's go take a look at that lock. But strange occurrences have happened here. So they've come in and there's been leaves inside. Now, it looks pretty sealed tight. And the lid had slid behind the casket one time. The lid by his face. So they're wondering how that happened. But of course his father says, nah, his father's more of a skeptic and doesn't really concur. But how would leaves get in here and debris on the ground when it's completely sealed shut if only two people have the key? This story's nuts. Like, I read so much about it before I came out here, and it's about a 20-minute drive from where I last was, and I was thinking about it constantly, about how I'm going to tell the story, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to just talk away like I always do. Apparently, Joe is still on display every major Catholic holiday and on his birthday, which is May 8th. So, it's not too long from now. Maybe I'll come back. Apparently, they open it and put him on display still. I forget why I was confused. The long and the short of it is, a man died in 1924. He seemed to have a fascination with King Tut. He put a glass cup. You know what? But you can come here if you're gonna make it here on May 8th. You can see him. but I put in enough pictures of him. I think one more. He's in there. Okay. Yeah, I could have just not gone into any of the backstory, but I wanted to tell a little bit of the backstory. I ended up telling about 18 different backstories for him. But that's the story. That's what happened. That's why he's in there, and people can see him, and did see him, and more are going to come see him now. And over the next Catholic holidays as well. All right, oh, shoot, I almost forgot. Now, they say Uncle Joe was a crabby man, whatnot. I have no clue if he was or if he wasn't, but I want Uncle Joe to be resting in peace, and his parents. I have 3 rocks. I'm not sure exactly. I think his sister might be in there. I don't know, but I only brought 3. I'm sorry. And I've had a little bit of fun with this, but I do hope the people resting inside, Uncle Joe and his parents, possibly his sister, are resting in peace. And they've given us quite an interesting story. When you come in by that little fence, you're gonna make a right, come all the way down the end. You cannot miss it. This is where Joseph Marconnott is. I thought if I snuck up on it, maybe it would work. Rest in peace to all the Marconnott family members that are behind me there in the mausoleum. Right there, you see it. And to everybody here, cemetery. I'm not going to preach. Cemeteries don't always have to be sad. You can honor a loved one. You can visit a loved one. And you can laugh. You can talk about them. And, honor their life. What am I trying to say? Of course, this is going to take me 4 hours to spit out. But I've seen families having picnics at graves. I've seen kids running around. I've heard music playing, probably for the loved one's birthday or on holidays, things like that. Seems that Joseph was a fun guy. Too much. Seemed like he was. So, I've had a bit of fun with this, but always respect where you are, especially in a cemetery. And rest in peace to everybody here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I love you all. Peace out. It's a glass right over top. You can just look at it.